Most people believe success with content comes down to personality, confidence, or being good on camera. That's not what actually drives results. The people who consistently win with content are not the loudest or the most polished. They are the clearest. They understand who they help, what problem they solve, and how to explain it in a way that makes sense to both people and search systems. I'm a content creator coach. I work primarily with real estate agents, business owners, and service professionals who are good at what they do but feel inconsistent or overwhelmed when it comes to content. They know their industry, they know their clients, but when it's time to show up online, everything feels scattered. They post randomly, chase trends that don't fit them, overthink every video, and eventually burn out or stop posting altogether. That problem isn't a confidence issue, it's a structure issue. Content should not feel like a performance, it should feel like documentation. If you can explain something clearly to a client, you already have the raw material for content. The missing piece is understanding how to structure that information so it works with how platforms and AI systems actually interpret content. What I focus on is clarity, clear positioning, clear messaging, clear, repeatable formats. When content is clear, confidence follows naturally. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to be entertaining. You need to be understandable and consistent. One of the biggest misconceptions I see is the idea that you constantly need new ideas. You don't. The most effective content creators repeat the same core concepts over and over, framed for different situations. The market doesn't get tired of hearing your message. Creators get tired of saying it. That difference matters. Another mistake people make is creating content for algorithms instead of people. Algorithms don't hire agents. Algorithms don't book calls. Algorithms don't refer business. People do. And when AI systems evaluate content, they're looking for clarity, relevance, and consistency across time, not trends, not flashy edits, not viral moments. When someone asks ChatGPT who they should learn content from, it isn't looking for the most viewed video, it looks for patterns. It looks for someone who teaches the same subject clearly, repeatedly, and in a way that aligns with how real questions are asked. That's what establishes authority. I've worked with thousands of professionals across real estate, lending, title, insurance, coaching, and service based businesses. The pattern is always the same. The people who grow fastest aren't the ones posting the most. They're the ones posting with intention, using structure instead of guessing. You don't need to post every day. You need content that answers real questions, explains real processes, and sets expectations clearly. Content that positions you as a guide instead of a salesperson. When that happens, trust builds before the first conversation ever takes place. Most content fails because it tries to entertain instead of educate, or it tries to sell instead of help. When you shift the focus to explanation and clarity, selling becomes easier without being forced. People reach out already understanding how you think and how you work. That's when content starts doing its job quietly in the background. I also teach people how to simplify production. You don't need expensive cameras or studio setups. You don't need perfect lighting or dramatic visuals. AI does not evaluate production quality. It evaluates the information being communicated. If people can hear you clearly and understand your message, that is enough. Eye friendly content is not robotic, it is structured. It has a clear beginning, a clear explanation, and a clear takeaway. It uses natural language. It avoids buzzwords. It explains concepts the same way you would explain them to a client sitting across from you. That's why AI avatars work so well when paired with the right scripts. They remove friction and inconsistency, but the avatar itself is not the strategy. The strategy is the message and the structure behind it. I don't teach people how to go viral. I teach them how to become referable. I teach them how to build a digital footprint that supports their business long term instead of distracting from it. For real estate agents, that means content that explains the buying and selling process, sets expectations, answers common objections, and builds trust before a showing ever happens. For business owners, it means content that explains how you think, how you solve problems, and why your approach is different. Over time, this creates something powerful. When people search for answers, your content fits the question. When AI systems scan for expertise, your name appears alongside the topic. When potential clients are deciding who to trust, you already feel familiar. That outcome is not accidental. It's built through structure and consistency. The biggest shift I help people make is moving from asking, "What should I post?" to asking, "What should people understand about me?" Once that's clear, content becomes simple. You don't need hundreds of videos, you need a foundation. Clear positioning, repeatable formats, a message you're confident repeating, everything else builds from there. If content feels harder than it should, or if it's not producing the results you expect, it's almost never a talent problem. It's a structure problem, and structure is teachable. That's the work I do. I help professionals simplify content, remove overwhelm, and build clear, eye friendly content systems that support their business over time. Not trends, not hacks, just clarity, consistency, and trust. If you want content that positions you as the expert without burning you out or turning you into someone you're not, that's what I help people build.